What's up, friends, and welcome to Noobs in Disguise, the show in which one of us brings a replay and the other one needs to figure out what level it is that we're looking at. And during all of this, we'll be discussing the plays in the replay as both players are anonymized. What's up, Lambo?
Hello, what's up? I'm happy to be together with a professional YouTuber here, and I mean, I saw that you already got the intro right on the second try, which is very impressive. I personally do mine at least 10 times.
But through the magic of editing, none of this will ever be known. So the fine people at home, you know, they'll pop straight into it. See the beautiful names on the screen here. As we have in the bottom right, as our blue Terran player, we have please subscribe. And in the top left, we have like. And I would recommend everyone to do both of these things as well as we're here. So yeah, this replay has been anonymized. I was the one to bring this replay. So today it's Lambo's turn to guess what level this, potential noob is, of course. We don't know if it's a noob yet. It could be a pro in disguise, cosplaying as a noob. Looking at the early build orders, what are we thinking here, buddy?
It looks pretty good so far. The scout is a little bit early and the probe is not really controlled. But I mean, that happens up to Masters League, I feel like. It's a little bit weird that the pros went double gas. So I think already it's not a pro in disguise, depending on your definition of noob. I call myself noob sometimes, so I'm assuming this is a little bit worse than me at least.
Yeah, it's very well possible. Very well possible. Cheeky little Reaper coming out as well. Out of our Terran player. And a fast CC. I always like to check the CC timings to make sure, you know, how tight they are. This guy went down at 144 without having an SCV scout. That's 5 seconds too late if you have an SCV scout. So my man is at least 6 or 7 seconds behind from the optimal plan. This is one penalty point already from me. Right? Mentally, I'm gonna keep track of penalty points. So in the future, when I'm the one that needs to guess, I just can translate like an MMR to penalty point currency exchange and figure it out with relative ease.
Yeah, that's a good system, I think. I think the easiest is actually in the early game to just look at their build orders, because like what the Protoss is doing right now is, I would call it not standard at the very least. Like I don't know, I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's not standard.
Yeah, it's very far away from the meta. So maybe one of the meta breaker builds. You know, sometimes the players at the lower leagues, they have a build that works really well at their level because they're constantly being 2-rexed or something. You know, if you're getting proxy 2-rexed every single game and you open up with a robo at home, it might actually have a way better win rate than you opening up with the 1-gate expand every single time. It is very possible. But yeah, this build order opener is very far from optimal. I would even say that one might call it bad, floating the 400 minerals and the 300 gas before your Nexus goes down. Nexus did get built in the correct position though, so that's a plus here for the Protoss.
Well, what league do you have to be to position your Nexus?
Might be giving away too much.
The probes are not rallied correctly, so that's already... Maybe it's a Brood War player. Who knows?
Rallies them right in front of the minerals.
Yeah. No tech so far, but he's banking a lot of gas, so he's definitely thinking about tech. Here's the Twilight Council. I mean, to be honest, the Terran looks a lot better so far, and it looks like a real build order pretty much. But I know very often in Diamond League, there's these players, Platinum League, Diamond League, that actually get build orders right. But then the moment something happens, it all falls apart drastically. So we have to watch what happens when actual action starts happening on the Terran side. 4 minute 3rd CC. Honestly, this Terran build, I like it a lot. He's up in workers, so for now, I think the Terran is in a great spot without anything happening so far. Besides the Reaper blocking the Nexus, which usually the Nexus should be there before the Reaper, but...
My favorite line from you so far is, he's floating a lot of gas, so he's at least thinking about tech. This guy took a second guess before his Cybercore, before his second pylon, threw down the Twilight Council 3 minutes and 20 seconds in. A full minute later, despite playing a 2-gate, 2-gas build order, definitely was not thinking about gas for a long time. Ooh, that's a pick off right there. Absolutely beautiful. Was that 4 mines in there?
Yeah, it was. So that was a huge pickoff. And he's already getting the +1 air. I mean, he was planning ahead for the future, I'm telling you. He was just getting the gas nice and early, and he's ready for the carrier swap from minute 1.
God, I absolutely love this. Does he have Blink? No, okay, he just built a Twilight Council. Got six dogs, and was like, what I could really use in this army is charge. Throws away the stalkers because he's transitioning right now. I'm so curious what he's getting into. Like he's floating a lot of minerals, so he probably has expanding on his mind.
Yeah, I mean, this guy thinks ahead. The reason he didn't make Blink was because he wanted to sack the stalkers against a couple of SCVs. He probably has done this a couple of times. Oh, here's the fleet beacon on 2 base. I love it. It's gonna be charge lot carrier, you think, or Tempest?
No clue. he might just be throwing down the fleet beacon then start producing oracles. So far the upgrades haven't been very indicative of what he's building. He got charged and built 6 stalkers. Has he built any other units with stalkers? No. It's just been the 6 stalkers. He currently is on 44 workers and absolutely no units. I love this scan, by the way. To be fair, I almost feel like scanning these gateways is better for the Terran, because if you were to scan the main base right now, I think you'd just be fairly confused. Seeing 2 forges pop up, it's like, all right, ground upgrades. If you hit just the fleet beacon, you think, okay, it's gonna be air, but then you also have the Twilight that research charge already. In the natural, there's the stalkers. Like, if you just get partial information with a scan, I think you can make some very scary decisions here as the Terran that might end up going completely wrong.
That is true, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's hard to... Like, this guy made the 2 forges next to the fleet beacon, so... If you scout a double forge fleet beacon, I don't know. I think anything you do is kind of okay.
A lot of cannons. You build a second forge as a backup in case the first one dies. Never wants to run out of the photon cannons.
He needs 1 for shield upgrades for the carriers as well.
It's a good call. +2 coming out, so it does seem like carriers are on the menu here. Hasn't gotten the update yet that carriers are no more in the PvT matchup. They've officially died. Vikings are too strong. Robo as well on the way. And Stim and Combat are, 25% done or so. This is one hell of a push out as well here. How many Marines is this? 19. 2 tanks here. And 2 medevacs. This has some potential.
Yeah, it really does. Although, I'm not really sure how to judge carrier versus Marine fights, because I'm not sure how many, 2 carriers should be fighting against this amount of Marines, right?
Well, I've never...
One, maybe, without anything.
Yeah, I've seen carrier Marine fights, but usually the Marines have 2 to upgrade Stim and Combat. These Marines have nothing. They're naked Marines against +1 carriers. I can only imagine what it will look like. I think the Interceptor might just take out a Marine, by itself then, no? It's probably stronger than a Marine, surely, at that point. If there's no Stim, no Combat, no upgrades. And the carrier does. I think... I don't know. I've actually never seen that interaction in my life. But I'd figured you'd need to match Interceptor count at least.
Yeah. I can already feel us learning a bunch of new things here.
Yeah. There's a lot of these interactions which you usually don't really think about. Now breaking our brains over. 4 CC before Barracks 4 and 5. I know a couple of high-level Terrans that like doing this as well.
Well, I only know one.
Bunny used to play this. Bunny.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. The Danish one, or?
No. The new one, the Korean one. I used to definitely like to do that every now and again. Now, I don't entirely mind playing tank Marine against a composition like this either. You have the tanks to kill, the long-range splash that Protoss possesses, like the Colossi or the Disruptor. And then Marines with Stim and Combat and some type of upgrades actually fare very well against carriers in general as well. So I think these are some good calls. I'm not sure if they were necessarily responses to what has been scouted. Is our Terran aware yet of the fact that there are carriers, or is this still a surprise, waiting to happen?
He has no idea. He now scanned the carriers for the first time. I mean, he was building Marauders before, so that's kind of that giveaway that he had no idea, because against this, if you want to go tank bio, it would be just tank Marine, right?
I'm not sure if he saw it though. He scanned it, but it was really far on the edge. So it didn't feel like he got the full picture there.
He's making Vikings at the very least. I'm rooting so hard for the Protoss right now, because this is a game where you're the Terran player and you're playing your legit build order. And then if you go into the replay, you see the other guy is going double forge, 2-base carrier with charge without the zealot. That's exactly the Terrans that turn to the dark side and start complaining. So kind of rooting for the Protoss here.
Yeah, it does feel like as well that the Protoss is getting the upper hand here in this fight. The Marines seem to not be faring so well against these +2 carriers. And the tanks don't shoot up. Some of the sad things about the tank. Yeah, I can already feel this guy writing out the Battle.net forum post as we speak. This absolute ape. Opened up with 8 stalkers. Charge. Sacrificed everything for free. Yeah, it's not going to be a pretty one.
I mean, if he loses. Right now he's 4-base against a 2-base Protoss that so far managed to get 4 carriers up in 11 minutes of gameplay. So it doesn't look too bad as long as he can spend his money. The thing is, his army is going to be way harder to control. Like in the last fight, he pre-split his units, which was not necessary at all. Like against the army that the Protoss had. He should have just had everything in one ball. So we'll see how that continues. He's throwing down an extra factory and an extra starport. I mean, he's macroing up quite nicely. I wouldn't mind even more production because he's kind of struggling to keep his money down.
Yeah, it also has the double E-base and everything. But yeah, I agree. Take a little bit more money. Big fan of the planetary on the 4th as well. Of course, he knew that charge was out. I can't believe that both of these scans, by the way, missed the entire army that he just cast. Like, the army was just in between the 2 scans. That looked fabulous. 3rd base is being rebuilt for the TOS as well. And I have a feeling about this game. I feel like that if the TOS gets to any supply that is above 170 and the Terran doesn't kill him before that, I have a very bad feeling for the Terran. However, if we can have a couple of trades before, I'm perhaps okay. Like Marines by themselves, they deal a lot of damage. I'm also curious and worried at the same time about this mothership. Like, how are the interactions at this level with a mothership? Do we just get a right click on it? Does the Terran know that he needs to scan to, to see what's underneath?
That would be rough if he doesn't. I mean, I would hope so. It's the easiest for Terran because you can just click the scan. But this game is so funny because the Protoss has way less upgrades, way less economy, way less production. But I have this tingling that he's just gonna move the Terran in 5 minutes from now, which is a very funny feeling if you look at the bottom, because everything just says that the Terran is winning. But I just have this feeling.
The bank, the APM. Right now the Protoss is floating 0 APM. He tapped out to change the song or to read up on some of his strategy notes. He only has 1 screen. Terran players usually have 3 screens as well. 2 screens for notes. Maybe a 4th screen for the Battle.net forums on constant refresh. Like, any new threats coming up, guys? And then the main screen for the playing as well. This guy legit just floated to 0 APM. That's beautiful to watch. There's a nice little cannon wall as well here on the 3rd base. The Terran once again going to the same position as earlier. This is the 3rd time actually he's going to this position, huh?
Yeah. It's not a bad position. It's actually, the APM is a good tip for me. I'll keep that one in mind because I have it open right now and the Protoss is at 0 very, very frequently. So at least he's efficient with his actions.
Yeah, to be fair, there's not so much to do for him right now. He's not floating any cash. Like, this guy's macro is on point. He's getting his upgrades for the ground units as well. He's getting a large army. I think as a TOS you want to stall a bit and not straight up engage into it. But look how many Templar he has. Holy crap.
Okay. Good storm on the Vikings. I mean, the Terran is pre-split super well, but he just doesn't have enough anti-air at all. This army just looks tiny from the Terran compared to the carriers.
Yeah, this wasn't a great... Oh, he had a drop in the natural as well, which isn't really being responded to. These 5 Marines might just do it by themselves. Look at them. 4 kills, 0. Oh, back into the medevac. There goes my counting job. I don't think the TOS has realized yet that something's going on, though. He's kind of go first-person view. He's building a 5th right now. He's different. Oh, he's like,
oh, he saw.
Who have the 3 zealots? He's like, man, these guys will have 2/2, so no shot. Wait, he lost a fort? No, it's finished. Never mind. Go ahead.
The Protoss has a maximum chrono boost, actually, so he can remake those workers in no time. Now he's chronoing all the nexus. Yeah, he knows. He knows. That's well played. I mean, he's down to 30 workers. I feel like at this point he really shouldn't be winning anymore, but
Yeah, it's going
the
to be...
chance still isn't zero. Like, if there's ever a max out from the Protoss, my money's on the Protoss, no matter what the Terran has.
I think the Protoss max out is literally impossible at this point, though. Like,
It should be, yeah.
I guess there's a lot of Templars coming in right now. I mean, really all you need to deal with is the Marines, right? There's 2 Thors, 2 Vikings. I haven't seen the greatest splits out of Terran. The production of the Terran is just too big. That's the real issue. We have 9 barracks.
That is if the Terran trades. I mean, if the Terran just does nothing for a long time, then...
Yeah, I think he understands what he needs to do. You know, he has the taste of that last fight still in his mouth. He was like, yeah, I lost a lot of supply. But he's not even that far down in resources lost. Like, that actually is somewhat surprising to me. He's a massive bank as well. It seems difficult to lose this game. What's the current... okay, 9 Templar. Probably 8, 9 Storms available as well. Archon's coming in. Just 1 Storm. Half of the army isn't stimmed. Maybe only stims the units that are on the screen?
I don't know. But the supply of the Terran went down a whole lot and the Protoss supply didn't move at all, so...
Did he lose anything?
Probably.
He started with 9 Templar, and he still has 9. He had 7 carriers, he still has 7. Maybe he had 10 Templar? Might have lost 1, but... That's pretty sick. The resources lost also. Like the Terran go down like 6k. I think the Protoss lost a bunch of Interceptors. I think that's pretty much it. And like half a Templar.
He's attacking now, and the Terran cannot spend his money. He doesn't have enough production.
Well, he has a...
That's rough. That's exactly what I wanted to see. I'm not gonna lie.
He couldn't get out here quick enough to go to the Battle.net forums. Yeah, I'm out of here, son. He actually still had 9 barracks left over that a lot of them could produce. 2 starports. He was pumping out tanks, which is a bit of an odd choice, at least from one factory. And he had 6,300 minerals. Even if he just masses turrets and then sits behind it with tanks, I mean, you're never gonna get broken, are you?
He could have literally made like 10 starports on the left side of the map and like flood his buildings there. He could have gotten maxed one way or another, but yeah, I think he's had enough. I think he's seen enough as well.
Yeah,
I don't think he wanted to keep playing that one.
Poor guy. I do feel for him, but I also feel for you. This is a tricky game to call. Now I have the exact MMR over here right in front of me. And it's on you to guess it. First of all, I kind of want to, what do you think? Where we're at right now?
I'm guessing both of them, or
no, just the Terran.
The level.
Terran.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Terran. So the Terran, I would have guessed way higher. Like his build order was decent. The army composition was decent. His macro in the early game especially was decent, which I think should take you quite far. If I was looking at the Terran only, I would say Diamond. If I looked at the Protoss alone, in a vacuum, I probably was at Gold League. So, but then the Protoss won, which makes this all the harder. And also, I don't know exactly what MMR is, which league, which also makes this hard for me. It's like an extra layer of difficulty.
MMR is more of a feeling, though. You know, the leagues are unimportant. A number is a number. You know, you can't be wrong with that.
Okay. I'm thinking it is. I'm thinking right now what MMR my girlfriend is, because she's Diamond, so I have a reference point. But I don't know is the sad truth. I think she's 4K and that's Diamond 1. So I'm going to say 3K? Does that make sense? I'm going to say 3K. Maybe high Platinum.
3K.
Low Diamond. I'm going to say 3,069.
3,069. That, my friend, puts you within 200 points of the actual number. Do you think it's higher or lower?
I think it's higher then.
Yeah.
3,200?
Yeah, it's 3,259. A Diamond Terran from Europe. And his nickname is Lambo Enjoyer. I thought it would be a perfect nickname for the first player. Of course, we have anonymized both of them. I think that's going to be it for today, Mr. Lambo as well.
Yeah.
Congratulations on being within 200 points. I'm not sure if there should be like an overall tally over the weeks. Yeah, we're still figuring the format out, of course, but I think we might do something like that. And after 10 weeks, we see who's ahead and who isn't. Maybe there should be some challenges tied to it as well. But we're looking forward to hearing your feedback on this format and whatever we could do as a punishment or as a reward for the winner/loser. Anything else to add there, Lambo?
Not really. It was a lot of fun. I'm just looking forward to seeing all of your guys' replays. If you guys have anything fun in particular, feel free to send it. And yeah.
True. Yeah. Email will be in the description down below and should be covering the screen as well right now. All right. It's going to be it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to please subscribe and to like. Bye-bye.